Ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends, today I want to begin with this simple question. If you met yourself as a stranger, would you enjoy your own company? Think about it, because our personality is not just how we look or how we talk, it is how we make others feel, how we handle challenges, and how we grow every single day. Life is not about being perfect, it is about becoming better, step by step. Personality is a journey, not a destination. Every day gives us a new chance, a new opportunity to polish our character and shine brighter than yesterday. Knowing yourself before you try to grow yourself is one of the most essential and foundational principles of personality development. When we say know yourself, it does not mean simply recognizing your name, your likes, or your favorite hobbies. It means diving deeper into your inner world and understanding your emotional patterns, your behaviors, your strengths, your weaknesses, and the values that guide your decisions. Every human being has a unique identity, but many of us spend our lives trying to imitate others, compare our lives to others, or seek validation from others. This leads to confusion, frustration, and an unclear sense of purpose. True growth begins the moment you stop asking, "What will others think of me?" and start asking, "Who am I truly, and who do I want to become?" The first step toward knowing yourself is observation. Observe your reactions in different situations. Notice what makes you happy, what makes you anxious, what triggers anger, and what brings peace. The way you respond to situations reveals your inner beliefs and emotional state. For example, if criticism easily upsets you, it may indicate a need to strengthen your self-confidence. If you often feel jealous, it may suggest you need to develop gratitude and self-appreciation. These realizations are not signs of failure, they are opportunities to improve. The more honestly you observe yourself, the more clarity you gain. Another important aspect is acknowledging your strengths. Many people underestimate their talents because they compare themselves to others. You may not speak like a public speaker, paint like an artist, or run like an athlete, but you have your own unique abilities. Maybe you are a patient listener, a hardworking learner, a gentle soul who brings peace to others, or a determined individual who refuses to give up. Your strengths are gifts that shape your personality, and recognizing them boosts your confidence. However, understanding your weaknesses is equally important. Weaknesses are not something to be ashamed of. They are areas that need extra love, discipline, and effort. When you recognize your weaknesses, you gain the power to improve them instead of hiding from them. A key part of knowing yourself is discovering your values. Values are the principles you hold deeply in your heart, such as honesty, loyalty, kindness, respect, or ambition. When your actions match your values, you feel peace. When they don't, you experience stress or guilt. For example, if honesty is a value for you, lying to please others will always feel uncomfortable. Understanding your values helps you make stronger decisions and form a personality that is stable and authentic, not influenced by trends or external pressure. Once you start understanding yourself, growth becomes natural. You no longer try to impress others, but instead, you work to improve yourself. You stop competing with society and start competing with your past self. Your focus shifts from being better than others to being better than yesterday. This is where real progress begins. Every small improvement, whether in the way you speak, react, think, or behave, slowly polishes your personality and brings confidence, maturity, and grace into your life. Knowing yourself is a lifelong journey, not a one-day task. It requires patience, honesty, and reflection. But once you begin this journey, your personality starts evolving beautifully. Because growth is strongest when it comes from the inside, not from external pressure. And when you truly know who you are, you also begin to understand how powerful you can become. Practicing gratitude daily is one of the most transformative habits one can develop to enhance personality. It is not merely about saying thank you, but about cultivating an attitude that recognizes the value of every moment, every experience, and every individual in one's life. Gratitude is the art of shifting focus from what is missing to what is already present. Many people live in a mental space of lack, constantly thinking about what they don't have, who they are not, and what they have yet to achieve. This mindset drains energy, increases stress, and makes life feel heavier than it truly is. Gratitude, on the other hand, lightens the heart. It makes us emotionally stronger, mentally calmer, and socially more appealing. When a person is grateful, they naturally radiate warmth and positivity, and such individuals are always pleasant to be around. To practice gratitude, one must begin by paying attention. Life moves quickly, and often we become so occupied with responsibilities, goals, and ambitions that we forget to acknowledge the blessings that already exist. Consider the simple act of waking up with another chance to live. The ability to breathe, to see, to walk, to speak, and to connect with others. These are privileges many people do not have. But because they are constants in our lives, we fail to recognize their value. Gratitude invites us to pause and observe these silent gifts. When we start appreciating small things, we discover that happiness is not in big achievements alone. It is in everyday moments that often go unnoticed. Gratitude also improves emotional balance. When faced with challenges, a grateful person is more resilient because they focus on what is still working rather than what has gone wrong. They understand that life would not always align with plans, but there is always something to learn, something to hold on to, and something to be thankful for. This shift in mentality reduces stress and increases peace of mind. Instead of reacting with frustration, a grateful person responds with patience and wisdom. Such emotional stability becomes a strong aspect of personality. People admire those who remain calm under pressure, and gratitude plays a major role in building that inner calmness. Beyond emotional strength, gratitude enhances relationships. When you appreciate people, they feel valued. A simple acknowledgement of someone's effort, kindness, or presence can strengthen bonds in ways material gifts cannot. Most relationships weaken because of expectations and lack of appreciation. When you start recognizing and expressing gratitude for even small gestures, connections become deeper and more meaningful. Gratitude turns interactions into memories and relationships into lasting companionships. It reminds us that every person we meet contributes something to our life journey, even if for a short while. Furthermore, gratitude changes the way we view ourselves. It shifts our internal dialogue. Instead of thinking, I don't have enough, or I'm not good enough, we start seeing what we are capable of and how far we have already come. This builds confidence. It teaches self-respect. It helps us move forward with faith rather than fear. When you are grateful for your progress, you stop comparing yourself with others because you realize that everyone's journey is different. Gratitude does not eliminate ambition. It simply makes ambition healthier. You strive for more while appreciating what is already here. Ultimately, practicing gratitude daily is a discipline. It requires awareness and consistency, but the more we practice it, the more natural it becomes. Gratitude has the power to reshape personality from within, making a person more positive, compassionate, resilient, calm, and kind. And these qualities are what truly leave a lasting impression on the world. Being kind and humble always is one of the most influential qualities in shaping a powerful and admirable personality. Kindness is not just an action, it is an energy, a presence, a way of interacting with the world that leaves, people feeling respected and valued. Humility, on the other hand, is the quiet strength that keeps us grounded no matter how successful, talented, or accomplished we become. Together, Kindness and humility form the core of a personality that is both inspiring and unforgettable. In today's fast-paced world, many people are so focused on proving themselves that they forget to improve themselves. They work hard to appear strong, superior, or impressive, but they often neglect a simple truth that people remember how you made them feel more than what you achieved. A person may earn wealth, status, and recognition, but if they lack kindness and humility, their presence becomes heavy and their achievements lose meaning. The true greatness of an individual is not measured by their position or possessions, but by their character. Their ability to remain gentle in a world that is often harsh. Kindness begins with awareness. It requires being present enough to notice the feelings, struggles, and needs of others. This awareness helps us become more compassionate and considerate. A kind person listens without judgment, speaks with respect, and acts with empathy. Even small acts, like giving someone your time, offering a sincere compliment, or simply smiling, can brighten someone's day. These gestures may seem small, but their impact can be profound. A word of kindness can give someone hope. A moment of patience can prevent conflict. A gesture of understanding can build trust. Humility complements kindness by ensuring that our good deeds come from sincerity, not from a desire for praise. A humble person does not seek attention for their actions. They help because they care, not because they need recognition. They do not see themselves as better than others, even if they achieve more. Humility allows us to recognize that everyone is on their own journey, facing their own challenges. It teaches us to treat everyone with dignity, regardless of status or background. This attitude makes us approachable, relatable, and respected. However, many people misunderstand humility as weakness or lack of confidence. In reality, humility requires great strength. It takes confidence to admit mistakes, courage to accept imperfections, and maturity to learn from others. Humble individuals do not fear failure or criticism because their sense of self-worth does not come from pride. It comes from clarity and self-awareness. They are open to growth, always improving, always evolving, without feeling threatened by the success of others. This mindset not only enhances personal development, but also inspires others to grow. Kindness and humility also profoundly influence relationships. Whether among friends, colleagues, or family, these qualities create harmony and trust. People naturally gravitate toward those who are sincere and respectful. A kind word can mend misunderstanding. A humble apology can restore peace. A thoughtful gesture can strengthen bonds. These actions do not require wealth or extraordinary talent. They simply require sensitivity and heart. Moreover, kindness and humility elevate one's identity internally. When we treat others well, we feel peace within ourselves. When we remain humble, our mind stays free from the burden of comparison, ego, and insecurity. Our personality becomes more refined, calm, and graceful. We begin to live with authenticity instead of performance. This inner state reflects in our tone, behavior, attitude, and presence. To practice kindness and humility daily means choosing love over anger, empathy over judgment, and simplicity over ego. It means speaking gently, even in disagreement, and offering help without expecting anything in return. These qualities do not just enhance personality, they create a legacy. Because long after our words are forgotten and our accomplishments fade, the kindness we showed and the humility we lived with will continue to live in the hearts of others. Staying disciplined and consistent is one of the most powerful ways to shape a strong and admirable personality. Many people begin their journey with excitement, motivation, or enthusiasm, but they lose momentum when challenges appear or when results take longer than expected. Discipline is what keeps us moving when inspiration fades. Consistency is what turns small efforts into long-lasting transformation. Together, they form the foundation of personal growth, strength, and maturity. Discipline means choosing what is right over what is easy. It means doing what needs to be done, even when we don't feel like doing it. Most people depend on their mood to take action. If they feel motivated, they work hard, but if they feel tired or discouraged, they stop. A disciplined person does not wait for the perfect mood or the perfect time. They understand that progress requires steady effort. When we make a routine and stick to it, we build trust within ourselves. We start to realize that we are capable of achieving far more than we thought. Consistency is equally important. Improvement does not happen overnight. Just like a seed needs time to sprout and grow into a tree, our habits need time to develop into strengths. Reading a few pages daily will not make you knowledgeable in one day, but over months, those pages become chapters, books, and eventually wisdom. Exercising for 10 minutes may not transform your body immediately, but over time, those minutes build strength, energy, and confidence. Speaking kindly and practicing patience may not change your relationships instantly, but over time, they shape your character and influence how others see you. The problem is, many people want instant results. They start with excitement, but when results do not appear quickly, they feel discouraged and give up. This is where consistency becomes a test of your commitment. Success does not belong to the one who starts with the greatest excitement, but to the one who keeps going when excitement disappears. Even one small action repeated daily will take you closer to your goals than big efforts done inconsistently. Discipline also strengthens emotional and mental resilience. When you learn to control your habits, you learn to control your reactions. You become more patient, more stable, and more confident. A disciplined mind can handle stress better because it is trained to remain calm and focused. A consistent attitude helps you stay committed even when challenges arise. Life will always present obstacles, but discipline teaches you how to move through them rather than run away from them. Another powerful aspect of discipline is self-respect. When you keep the promises you make to yourself, your confidence grows. When you say you will wake up early and you do it, you build trust in your own character. When you say you will work on yourself daily and you follow through, you feel proud of your progress. Self-respect is not something others give you, it is something you earn through your own actions. A consistent and disciplined personality shines naturally because it reflects strength, stability, and reliability. It is also important to remember that discipline is not about being harsh or rigid with yourself. It is about being committed to what truly matters. You do not have to change your entire life in one day. Start small. Develop habits step by step. Strengthen them slowly. What matters is not how fast you grow, but how steadily you keep moving forward. Even if progress is slow, if it is consistent, it is meaningful. In the journey of personality development, discipline and consistency are like the silent forces that shape your identity without you noticing. One day, you will look back and realize that the small efforts you made every day have built a personality that is strong, confident, focused, and admirable. And that transformation will not be because of a moment of motivation, but because of your daily commitment to becoming better than you were yesterday. Controlling your reactions rather than trying to control the world is one of the most refined expressions of emotional intelligence and maturity. Life is full of situations that we cannot predict, people whose behavior we cannot dictate, and circumstances that may unfold in ways we do not prefer. Yet, many individuals drain their energy attempting to change these external factors. They become frustrated, disappointed, or stressed when things do not go according to their expectations. The truth is, the world will never always behave the way we want, but we can choose how we respond to it. This ability to regulate our emotions, thoughts, and actions in the face of challenges is what truly defines a strong and balanced personality. When we react impulsively, We allow the external world to control our inner peace. Someone's rude comment, a challenging situation, or an unexpected setback can influence our mood and behavior. In such moments, we often forget that our reaction is our responsibility. While we cannot stop difficulties from arising, we can decide how we handle them. A calm response is a sign of strength, while an uncontrolled reaction reflects a lack of stability. Those who master their reactions do not allow temporary emotions to make permanent decisions. They pause, reflect, and respond with clarity rather than impulse. One of the most important steps in controlling your reactions is understanding your emotional triggers. These are the situations or behaviors that stir strong emotions within you. Maybe criticism makes you defensive. Maybe delays make you impatient. Maybe being ignored makes you feel upset. Recognizing these triggers is the doorway to emotional growth. Once you identify what affects you, you can begin training your mind to respond differently. Instead of reacting instantly, take a breath. Give yourself a moment to process. That small pause can prevent unnecessary conflicts and emotional damage. Emotional control also comes from perspective. When faced with a difficult situation, ask yourself whether it will matter in a week, a month, or a year. Most things we react strongly to are temporary. We give them more power than they deserve. By seeing situations from a broader perspective, we learn to stay composed and handle challenges with wisdom. This calmness adds grace and confidence to your personality. People feel safe and comfortable around those who remain steady in difficult situations. Such individuals naturally become leaders, guides, and sources of support because their presence brings stability. Another important aspect is developing a strong inner world. Meditation, self-reflection, or even spending time in silence strengthens emotional self-control. When your mind is calm from within, the external chaos affects you less. You do not depend on the world to behave in a certain way for you to feel peaceful. Instead, your peace comes from your own clarity and awareness. This is where true emotional freedom begins. A stable mind is one of the most attractive qualities a person can have because stability creates trust and respect. Additionally, understanding that every person behaves based on their own experiences and struggles can help you respond more compassionately. People may be rude, reactive, or insensitive because they are dealing with their own internal battles. When you recognize this, you stop taking things personally. Instead of reacting with anger, you respond with empathy or silence. Both are forms of strength. Silence, especially, is a powerful response. Not every situation deserves your energy, and not every comment requires your reply. Choosing your response is choosing your peace. Controlling your reactions is not about suppressing emotions, it is about directing them. It is perfectly human to feel frustration, sadness, or anger. The strength lies in deciding what you do with those feelings. Do you allow them to control you, or do you guide them with wisdom? When you master this balance, your personality becomes composed, graceful, and deeply impactful. You will notice that your relationships improve, your stress decreases, and your confidence rises. And slowly, your presence becomes a source of calmness and positivity for others, a presence that speaks louder than any words ever could. Surrounding yourself with positive people plays a crucial role in shaping your personality, mindset, and overall growth. Human beings absorb energy from their environment, and the people we interact with daily influence our thinking, behavior, expectations, and even our level of ambition. When we surround ourselves with individuals who uplift us, encourage us, and embody qualities we admire, we naturally begin to develop those same qualities. On the other hand, being around negative or discouraging people can slowly drain our energy, weaken our confidence, and limit our progress. Choosing your company wisely is not about judging others. It is about protecting your peace and nurturing your own potential. Positive people are not necessarily the ones who always laugh or smile, nor are they those who pretend everything is perfect. True positivity comes from maturity, resilience, and wisdom. It comes from individuals who have learned to view challenges as opportunities, who speak with respect, and who inspire growth through their actions and attitude. When you spend time with such people, you begin to think differently. You start believing in possibilities rather than obstacles. Your conversations become meaningful, your thoughts become clearer, and your goals become stronger. Positive company nurtures a mindset of growth and self-belief, which is essential for personality development. To surround yourself with positive people, you must first recognize who these individuals are. They are the ones who motivate you rather than discourage you. They celebrate your success instead of feeling threatened by it. They speak honestly yet kindly. They hold values that align with integrity, kindness, and respect. They offer advice that helps you rise rather than remain stuck. Being around such individuals encourages emotional and mental stability. You learn patience, resilience, and understanding simply by observing how they handle their own challenges. Their presence becomes a source of learning and inspiration. However, surrounding yourself with positive people also requires the strength to distance yourself from negativity. This can be one of the hardest steps because sometimes the negative influence comes from people close to us, friends, colleagues, or even family members. These individuals may criticize without reason, discourage your efforts, or focus constantly on problems instead of solutions. Spending too much time around such attitudes can make you doubt your abilities or change your personality in ways that do not serve your growth. Creating distance does not mean disrespect or conflict. It means setting healthy boundaries that protect your emotional well-being and long-term development. Another important aspect is that to attract positive people into your life, you must also strive to become a positive person yourself. Relationships are reflections, and we often receive the same energy that we give. When you practice kindness, honesty, resilience, gratitude, and respect, you naturally attract others who share the same values. Becoming a positive presence means listening without judgment, supporting others without envy, and speaking with intention rather than impulse. You do not have to be perfect to be positive. You simply need to be genuine and willing to grow. Spending time with positive individuals also broadens your perspective. You are exposed to new ideas, new ways of thinking, and new approaches to dealing with life. Conversations shift from gossip to growth, from complaints to solutions, from doubt to determination. This shift in atmosphere not only improves your personality, but also enriches your sense of purpose. You begin to realize that life is much bigger and brighter than the temporary problems you face. You feel motivated to become more disciplined, compassionate, and courageous. Over time, you will notice a transformation in your personality. Your words become more thoughtful, your actions more meaningful, and your presence more comforting and confident. Surrounding yourself with positive people strengthens your emotional resilience, deepens your self-awareness, and helps you evolve into a version of yourself that is strong, balanced, and grounded. When you choose your company intentionally, you are choosing the environment that will shape your future, and by choosing positivity, you choose growth. My dear friends, personality is not about showing, it is about glowing from within. Improve slowly, calmly, patiently, and one day you will look back and realize how far you've come. So let today be the day you start your journey. Promise yourself, every day I will learn, every day I will grow, and every day I will become a better me. Thank you.